Hello. So in this video, we will learn how to create an object in Mendix. And by the end of this tutorial, you will be able to create, edit, and manage data in your application. So without any further delays, let's get started. So first things first, you need to set up your Mendix environment. You need to open Mendix Studio Pro and create a new project by clicking this button, Create New App. Now you need to either select a template or choose a blank project. I will be going ahead with a blank project. Use this starting point and give your application a name. Let's call it Create Object Tutorial. Okay. Then hit Create App button. This is gonna take a couple of seconds of yours, so be patient and let Mendix do its job. So in this tutorial, we will build a simple form to capture employee details. So now let's create an employee entity. Navigate to the domain model tab. And here we will define the structure of an employee object. Okay. You need to right click on the empty space and select add entity. Now double click this entity to open its properties and name this entity employee. Alright, now in this entity, we will add attributes like first name, last name, age by clicking this new button, naming the first attribute, first name. Make sure to set the appropriate data type for each attribute. This is going to be string and maximum length for this attribute is gonna be 200, okay? Click OK. Now let's add another attribute and call it last name. Cool. Click OK, and we need one more attribute for age. Okay, let's call it age. You need to set the data type of this attribute to integer. Okay, and one more thing which you need to keep in mind before I close the properties window of this entity is that by default Mendix creates a unique identifier for each entity called ID, which serves as the primary key. Okay, so basically you don't need to create an additional primary key if you are fine with using the auto-generated ID. Close this window. The entity has been created and it's in blue color. That means it's a persistent entity. Okay. Now that we have our employee entity set up, let's create a form to capture employee data. So there are two ways to create a form, either by generating overview page or by creating it manually. Okay. If you want Mendix to generate a basic overview page for this entity, you can do that by right clicking on your entity and you will find the option to generate overview page, which you can customize as needed. Okay, but for this tutorial we will be creating the page manually. So to add a page, you need to right click on this my first module, and here we have this option for adding page. I'll go ahead with blank page and give it some name like form. Select this blank template and click OK. A page gets created for you. Now we need to use data view widget. So drag this data view widget onto your page. Open its properties by double clicking on this and set the data source to the entity that retrieves the data you want to display. Okay, this is the entity. Select this and click OK. It asks you if you want to automatically fill the contents of the data view. No, I would rather do it manually. Now we have set the data source of this data view to the employee entity. Okay. Next we have to drag and drop each attribute from the employee entity onto the form. Inside this data view, drag and drop input widgets for first name, last name and age. So in the search panel, we just have to type in text and you will see a text box under this input element section, which you have to drag and drop inside your data view. Okay, this is gonna be for first name. I'm gonna drag another text box for last name and one more for age underneath this last name. Cool. Now we have to bind each input widget to the appropriate attribute in the employee entity. So I'm gonna bind the first one to the first name. For this, label is going to be first name, and under this data source section you have to bind this input widget to the first name attribute. Okay, click this select and here we have this first name. Select this And now this input has been bound to the attribute first name. Okay, click OK to close its properties. And in the same manner, we will be binding the rest of the input elements. Okay, let's change the label to last name. Okay, and I'm gonna bind this to last name. Done. And we have to do the same exercise for the last input element. Set the label to age and bind this input element to the attribute age. Okay, and close the properties. Cool. Next, let's add some buttons to the form. We need a save button to submit the form and a cancel button to cancel the form. Drag a button onto the form for save. You will see this save button which you have to drag and drop. And make sure to set the on-click action to save changes, which is set by default. Okay. Now let's drag cancel button. You just have to type in cancel in the search panel and drag it and drop it beside save changes button. And make sure to set the on-click action to cancel changes, which is set by default. Cool. I'll just quickly adjust the layout of a form for better user experience. Moving all the input elements to the upper section and keeping save and cancel in the lower section. So now that we have an employee form set up, let's create another page to display our employee records. So right click on this, my first module again, and add a new page. You can choose any suitable layout. I'll go ahead with blank and we'll call it cool. We need to select this blank template and then click OK. So the page employee list has been created for you. So this time we will choose data grid, not data view. Okay. So first let us understand what is the difference between these two, data grid and data view. So data view is best for forms which are focused on a single records, and it allows users to create or edit that record. Okay. And data grid is best for displaying list of records. Users can view, sort, filter, and perform actions on multiple entries at once. Okay, so that's the difference between these two. I hope you get the gist of what I said. So we will be dragging this data grid onto a page. Okay, and you need to double click to open its properties. Head on to this data source tab. Set the data source to the employee entity. This will populate the grid with employee records. Click OK to close the properties. As soon as you set the data source to the entity and close the properties window, it asks you if you want to automatically fill the contents of the data grid. If yes, you can select yes. If no, you can go with no. Okay. We will be adding the columns manually. So we will be adding columns for first name, last name, and age. At the moment, we just have one column. To add another column either to your left or right, you just have to right click on this column. Okay. And here we have options like add column left, add column right. If you select this add column left, a column will be added to the left. If you select this add column right, a column will be added to the right. A column has been added. We just have two columns. We need one more column for age, right? Right click on this again and select add column left. You can adjust the display settings for each columns as needed. Now we have to configure the columns by adding first name, last name, and age. So double click the column, set the caption to first name. Alright. In the data source section, we have this attribute. Bind this attribute to the first name of your employee entity. Okay. And in the same manner, we will be configuring the rest of the columns. For the second column, set the caption to last name and bind the attribute to the last name of your employee entity. Okay. Close its properties. And for the third column, we will be setting the caption to age and bind it to the attribute age. Okay. Now to connect this employee form and this data grid, we will add another button to this data grid that opens the employee form. Okay. So to add a create button, you just have to right click over here. You will see add button option, and under this add button option, you will see a couple of options, out of which you need to select create. Now to configure this, you need to double click on this to open its properties. Here you need to select the page which you want to be opened on click of this button, which is this employee form in our case, right? Select this. Next we'll add an edit button right beside this new button. Okay, right click over here and you need to add an action button. Okay, open its properties and set the caption to edit, and in the events section set the on click action to show a page. Okay, and then select the page which you want to show as soon as the user clicks this button. Okay, we want to show employee form. Select this. We will need one more action button to delete the record. Okay, so here you just have to right click and then select action button. Double click on this button to open its properties and set the caption to delete and on click action to delete. Okay, alright, now I also need to add filters to my data grid, allowing users to easily search and refine their data. So to add one, you have to right click in this section which is right above this button section and click generate search fields. So these three columns, first name, last name, age, can be filtered. Let's say you don't want last name to be filterable, you are free to remove that. Okay, and here we have this one error which says a grid with the show search bar property set to with button requires a search bar toggle button. Either add the button to the grid control bar or change the property. So to fix this error, you need to open the properties of your data grid, head on to this data source tab. Okay, and here you need to change the property of the show search bar, which is set to with button initially closed. Change it to with button initially open. And error is gone. As soon as the user logs into the application, I want the user to be landed on this page. So we have a new page ready. We just have to update the navigation from home page to this page, which you will find in this app section. Navigation, double click this. You need to change this to the page which you want to show as soon as the user logs into the application. Okay, which is this employee list. Select this and we are good to test our application. You just have to click the run button to preview it, save and continue. And your app is ready to be viewed. Alright, so let's fill out this form with sample data. First name Mendix, last name Mendix 2, age is 10. Okay, click save to save your changes and you can see a record has been created. We can see the new entry in this data grid. Okay, we'll create one more record by clicking this new button. Learn, last name Mendix and age is 21. Click save to save your changes and you can see this entry in the data grid, right? Now let's test a filter functionality. Let's filter it by age. So get me all the records where the age is 10 and you need to click this search button and you can see there is one record where the age is 10. Okay, so filter functionality is also working. If you want to hide this filter panel, you can do that by clicking this search button. As we have set the property of this search bar to this, to with button initially open. That's the reason why you can see the search panel with button initially open. As we have filtered the data by age, we need to reset this. Okay, now let's try editing one of the records. You need to select the record which you want to edit. Let's say this one, first one, and then click this edit button. You can see the details of the selected record and let's change the age to 30. Okay, click save to save your changes, and you can see the age has been updated to 30. Now we will try deleting any one of the records. Okay, let's delete the second one. We need to select the record which you want to delete and click delete. It asks for your confirmation if you want to delete this. Yes, okay, click OK, and the record has been deleted. So that's pretty much for the day. If you found this tutorial helpful, please like and subscribe for more such content. I'll see you guys in my next video. Cheers, bye bye.